You thought you'd seen chaos before? Wait till you see this. The internet's melting down after footage dropped showing NBA YoungBoy looking like he just saw the ghost of his past. And not the friendly kind. This isn't your usual rap beef gossip. This is fear, paranoia, and a real-life movie unfolding in front of millions. 1 second, he's on stage flexing like the king of Baton Rouge. And the next, the man's begging for mercy like he's in the final scene of a gangster flick gone wrong. Fans are saying it's the craziest thing they've seen since Kanye decided to run for president. You'd think with all that fame, power, and money, YoungBoy would be untouchable. But apparently, his enemies didn't get the memo. And this footage? It's got rappers, bloggers, and even fans questioning everything we thought we knew about the man who built a legacy on never backing down. Because if the rumors are true, what happened after that concert might just change the entire rap game forever. Let's rewind the chaos for a second. Because what went down after NBA YoungBoy's concert wasn't just another night in hip-hop. It was a full-blown psychological thriller. The concert in question was supposed to be a victory lap. Sold-out crowd, energy through the roof, fans screaming every lyric like a gospel sermon. But once the lights dimmed and the cameras stopped rolling, something felt off. Word started spreading like wildfire that YoungBoy didn't leave the venue like the superstar he is. He left looking over his shoulder, surrounded by tension thicker than Florida humidity. According to fans in the parking lot, the vibe changed instantly after the final song. The security detail doubled up. Cars started moving in weird patterns, and people swore they heard yelling behind the barricades. Within hours, footage started leaking online. Grainy, shaky, but clear enough to make your jaw drop. There was NBA YoungBoy, hoodie on, eyes wide, surrounded by his crew, seemingly pleading with someone off camera. And the internet did what it does best. Lost its collective mind. Some fans said he was begging his ops not to slide. Others claimed it was staged for clout, a marketing stunt to build hype for a new track. But then came the twist. People close to YoungBoy allegedly confirmed that things got real. Very real. Apparently his rivals had been spotted in the area that night, and it wasn't just talk on Twitter. Sources claimed these weren't random haters. These were the kind of enemies that don't post threats. They deliver them. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. For years, YoungBoy has built his reputation on being untouchable. From Baton Rouge to Utah, his name carries weight like a street legend mixed with a ghost story. But if this footage really showed him begging for peace, it shattered that myth instantly. The man who gave us songs about never folding, never backing down, was suddenly looking like he'd seen the end coming. And fans didn't know whether to be shocked, scared, or suspicious. People started comparing the clip to those viral celebrity breakdown moments. Think Britney Spears with the umbrella, Will Smith's Oscars slap, and Tory Lanez's courtroom smirk all mixed into one unpredictable disaster. The memes started flying, the theories doubled, and Twitter turned into a full-blown crime scene investigation. Hashtags like "Pray for YB," "YB in trouble," and YoungBoy footage flooded social media faster than you could refresh your feed. Everyone had a different story. But the truth was murky, and that's exactly what made it addictive. Meanwhile, blogs and gossip pages smelled blood in the water. They started dropping exclusive sources, claiming this wasn't just random, it was a setup. Some said YoungBoy's inner circle might have betrayed him. Others hinted that a rival artist's crew had cornered him backstage. And then there were those conspiracy theorists, the ones who said the footage was intentionally leaked to make YoungBoy look weak, that this was part of a bigger smear campaign to destroy his image before a major label move. Sounds insane, right? But in rap, truth and fiction blend faster than a diss track hits YouTube. The timeline only made things messier. Just days before the concert, YoungBoy had posted cryptic messages on social media. Stuff like "the real ones know what's up" and "don't trust the smiles." At first, fans thought it was typical rapper energy, but looking back, those posts read like warning signs. Almost like the man saw something coming and couldn't say it outright. Some of his loyal followers even pointed out that he looked tense during the show, less focused, more paranoid, scanning the crowd like he was expecting someone specific. Then came the blogs with insider info that this wasn't YoungBoy's first close call. They dug up old beefs, resurfaced old diss clips, and dragged every rapper who ever exchanged words with him. Suddenly, this wasn't about one concert. It was a pattern. The streets started whispering that YoungBoy's past might finally be catching up. He's been in too deep with too many people for too long, and when you mix fame, power, and grudges, it's only a matter of time before something explodes. Still, not everyone bought it. Some of YoungBoy's hardcore fans went to war online, defending him like a digital army. They claimed the footage was edited, AI generated, or straight up fake. They said the internet was trying to paint him as soft because he was staying out of trouble lately. After all, he's been talking about peace, focusing on family, and avoiding the drama that once followed him like a storm cloud. But the problem was, the footage looked too real. The fear in his eyes wasn't something you could fake, not even for $1 million marketing plan. That's when the debate reached nuclear level. People started digging for GPS data, police reports, anything to prove what really happened. Some fans claimed local cops were called to the area that night. Others said security had to escort YoungBoy out through a back exit. And while nobody from his team officially commented, silence was the loudest answer of all. Because in the world of rap, when you don't clear the air, people start connecting dots on their own. Think about it. This is a man who's faced federal charges, survived industry blacklists, and outstreamed half the rap game without even leaving his house. So why would he suddenly look like he's running scared? Unless, just maybe, he knows something we don't. Maybe this isn't about one incident. Maybe this is part of a bigger storm brewing behind the scenes, something too dangerous for even the loudest rappers to speak on. And here's where things got truly eerie. A mysterious account popped up online claiming to have the full, unedited footage of what happened after the concert. They said it showed YoungBoy surrounded, hands up, trying to de-escalate while his crew panicked. The account posted a few screenshots, dark, grainy, and just clear enough to cause chaos. Before anyone could verify it, the account vanished. Deleted, wiped, gone. But the damage was done. The rumor had already spread to every corner of social media. Even rival rappers couldn't resist chiming in. Some posted shady laughing emojis. Others dropped cryptic bars about the real ones folding when it counts. It was subtle, but fans caught every word. And while YoungBoy didn't respond publicly, people noticed something strange. His usually active social media went completely silent. No posts, no stories, no tweets, just radio silence. That's when people realized this wasn't just drama. Something real was happening behind the scenes. By now, fans were in full detective mode. They analyzed the footage frame by frame, slowed it down, and even compared the background noise to pinpoint the exact location. Some swore they heard a familiar voice, someone tied to an old rival crew. Others thought they saw a car matching the description of one connected to previous altercations. And suddenly, what started as a viral clip turned into a street-level investigation. At this point, it wasn't about whether the footage was real. It was about how deep this rabbit hole went. Because if YoungBoy, one of the most fearless rappers of his generation, was truly begging for mercy that night, then every rapper watching just got a brutal reminder. No matter how high you rise, the streets never forget. And as the smoke cleared from that night, one thing was certain. The footage wasn't just shocking, it was the beginning of something much bigger. When the footage went viral, the internet did what it always does. It turned into a gladiator arena. Half the crowd wanted to protect YoungBoy's image, and the other half wanted to tear it apart like it was open season. The memes came in hot. You had one side posting YB better edits with angel wings, and the other side making TikToks saying, "Even YoungBoy knows when to clock out." The line between comedy and chaos blurred faster than a live stream with bad Wi-Fi. But here's the part that blew the roof off: the reaction from other rappers. Within hours, major names in the game were dropping cryptic messages, side-eye tweets, and IG lives that felt like diss tracks without the beat. Lil Durk, who's had one of the longest and most publicized rivalries with YoungBoy, didn't even have to say much. All he posted was a laughing emoji and a song snippet with the lyrics, "Real ones don't fold when the lights hit." That one post lit up social media like gasoline on an open flame. Then came Boozy, the self-proclaimed OG of Louisiana. He jumped on IG Live and said, "Ain't nobody safe in this game no more. They catching everybody slipping." The way he said it, calm, low tone, had fans wondering if he knew more than he was letting on. Suddenly, everyone started pulling receipts. People pointed out that YoungBoy's security had been thinner lately, that his inner circle had shifted. and that some familiar faces were missing from recent photos. The speculation was spiraling faster than a conspiracy theory subreddit. Meanwhile, YouTube commentators were feasting. Channels like Rapwave, Hip Hop Alert, and The Real Plug were dropping 30-minute breakdowns dissecting every frame of that footage like it was a government leak. They slowed it down, added dramatic music, and threw around words like assassination, attempt, and industry setup. One commentator even claimed the whole thing tied back to an unreleased collaboration that went bad, a song that was supposed to feature YoungBoy and another chart-topping rapper who allegedly ghosted him after getting paid. And because the internet never sleeps, fake new angles of the footage started popping up everywhere. Grainy clips, edited audio, even AI-generated voiceovers claiming to show what was really said during the altercation. Some of it was laughably fake. You could practically see the Photoshop lines, but the fans didn't care. They wanted answers, and every new upload just added more confusion to the chaos. Now here's where things really started spiraling out of control. TMZ-style blogs began reporting that YoungBoy's team had reached out to the police that night, not to file a report, but to secure safe transport out of the area. That detail sent shockwaves through the fanbase, because if true, it meant the man who's always been portrayed as fearless, as unshakable, was genuinely terrified. It wasn't just about clout anymore. This was survival mode. But just when everyone thought they had the story figured out, another bomb dropped. A voice memo surfaced online, supposedly from someone close to YoungBoy saying, "They followed us from the venue. He told them to chill, he didn't want no smoke." Whether real or fake, the timing was impeccable. The clip spread like wildfire, turning what was already a messy situation into a PR nightmare. Everyone was reposting it, dissecting every word, arguing about whether it was YoungBoy's actual voice. It was pure internet chaos, the kind that only happens when the biggest name in rap is caught in the middle of a real-life thriller. Then came the memes, because of course, the internet can't help itself. One clip of YoungBoy looking nervous on stage got remixed with horror music. Another had him edited into a Get Out trailer. It was brutal, but behind the laughter, a darker tone started emerging. Fans began questioning the safety of artists in general. "If YoungBoy ain't safe, who is?" became the trending comment. Even rappers who had nothing to do with the situation started weighing in. 21 Savage tweeted, "Rappers got it worse than politicians now." Meek Mill chimed in, saying, "That fame come with demons." Suddenly, what started as one man's scary night became a full-blown debate about the danger of being a rapper in 2025. Still, the wildest part wasn't even the footage. It was the way people reacted to it. Some fans acted like they were watching a Netflix series. Others went full FBI mode, tracking flight data, concert times, and rumored sightings. One fan claimed they saw YoungBoy's convoy speeding out of town minutes after the video surfaced. Another claimed to have connections that confirmed the ops really were nearby. Whether any of it was true didn't even matter anymore. The drama was too good, too cinematic to let go. And you know what happens when a story gets this big? The opportunists show up. Within days, fake merch started flooding online stores. Shirts that said, "Fear for my life tour." Memes printed on hoodies, even custom chains mocking the footage. Influencers were making skits. YouTubers were dropping reaction videos. And Twitter was roasting like it was open mic night. The same people who claimed to be concerned for YB's safety were laughing in the comments 5 seconds later. The hypocrisy was insane. But through all the noise, the silence from YoungBoy himself became the most deafening part. His fans were used to him clapping back, addressing drama in his music, or at least posting something cryptic. But this time, nothing. No tweets, no lives, no statements. Just silence. That silence made people panic. It made them think maybe, just maybe, the rumors were true. Maybe he was laying low, trying to regroup, or worse, preparing for something bigger. Rival rappers started dropping subliminals again. One posted, "Don't play tough when you ain't built for it." Another said, "The streets always collect." The shade was obvious, the tension thick. Fans began speculating that this could reignite old beefs that had been dormant for months. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. "Dirk better chill before it gets ugly," one user wrote. "YB got more ops than Fortnite," another joked. The chaos was unmatched. And while social media turned it into entertainment, real insiders were saying something far more serious. That this wasn't a one-off. That YB had been receiving threats for weeks. That certain promoters were hesitant to book him because of security concerns. that even venues were quietly increasing insurance coverage when his name appeared on the lineup. In other words, people weren't just worried about clout, they were worried about survival. Meanwhile, a few rappers came forward defending him. Quando Rondo, one of YoungBoy's closest allies, went on IG Live saying, "Y'all keep playing like it's a game. Ain't nothing funny about this." The clip went viral, mainly because it was one of the few moments where someone from YoungBoy's circle spoke up. Fans dissected every facial expression, every pause, trying to figure out what he wasn't saying out loud. You could feel the paranoia bleeding through the screen. That's when someone dropped the ultimate twist, a new snippet from an unreleased YoungBoy track, allegedly recorded days before the concert. The lyrics? "Demons waiting outside, I can feel him lurking." It was eerie, prophetic, almost like he knew what was coming. Fans flooded comment sections with, "He was warning us," and "This man spoke it into existence." The mystery deepened. By the end of the week, this story wasn't just viral, it was historic. News outlets that normally ignore hip-hop drama were covering it. Bloggers were calling it the biggest rapper safety scare since Takeoff's tragedy. Even random talk shows were bringing it up. Everyone wanted a piece of the chaos, but no one had real answers. All anyone knew for sure was that something serious happened that night. And whatever it was, YoungBoy didn't come out of it the same. The streets were buzzing, the blogs were milking it, and fans were left with one haunting question. If the man who built his empire on fearlessness could be seen trembling, then what does that say about everyone else in this game? Because when even YoungBoy looks over his shoulder, it's a sign. The industry isn't just about fame anymore, it's about survival. As the days turned into weeks, the entire situation around NBA YoungBoy's alleged fear for his life moment took on a life of its own. What started as a shaky clip from a random fan phone had snowballed into a full-blown cultural moment. Something that had fans, rappers, and even law enforcement quietly on edge. And while the memes and tweets kept flying, the silence from YoungBoy's camp spoke louder than any statement could. Then, out of nowhere, whispers began spreading that YB had gone completely off the grid. No new posts, no studio sessions, no public sightings. For a guy who lives half his life online, that kind of ghosting sent shockwaves through the fandom. People started claiming he'd left the state, maybe even gone into hiding. Some said he was living like Pac before Vegas. Others joked he was in witness protection with 4KT merch. But underneath the jokes was a growing unease. What if something really went down that night? That's when the alternate footage rumors kicked in again. Supposed insiders claimed the full version of the concert night video showed more. A confrontation, a heated argument, maybe even a gun being drawn. Nobody could prove it, but that didn't matter anymore. The story had already transcended facts. It became mythology, a modern rap legend unfolding in real time. But let's be real, the internet isn't patient. They wanted answers, and they wanted them now. Theories piled up faster than Spotify streams. Some people said the situation was tied to an old feud from Baton Rouge. Others swore it was an industry plot to break YoungBoy's focus while he was on the verge of dropping another #1 album. A few even claimed record labels were secretly terrified because controversy like this could either skyrocket his sales or destroy his brand completely. And in today's rap game, those two outcomes are practically the same thing. While fans were busy connecting dots, something else was brewing. The public narrative was shifting. What had started as a YoungBoy caught begging for mercy story slowly began morphing into something more sympathetic. People started to realize that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't about weakness. Maybe it was about being human in an industry that demands you act bulletproof 24/7. Even some of his harshest critics began softening their tone. One commentator said, "You can clown him all you want, but at least he's still breathing." Another added, "Half these rappers would have folded years ago if they lived his life." Suddenly, what had been a moment of ridicule turned into a conversation about vulnerability. A concept rap has historically treated like poison. Meanwhile, the tension behind the scenes only deepened. Sources started leaking that the ops mentioned in the video weren't randoms. They were allegedly tied to old Louisiana street politics, the kind of drama that doesn't die with time, only waits for the right spark, only waits for the right spark. Reports claimed certain individuals had been trying to make contact for weeks, and the concert just happened to be the moment everything boiled over. Whether that's true or not, nobody could confirm. But in the court of public opinion, it didn't matter. The fear on YoungBoy's face was enough evidence for some fans to believe every dark rumor that followed. By now, his management team was in full damage control mode. They quietly reached out to media outlets, trying to correct the narrative. They said it wasn't fear, it was frustration. They said he wasn't begging, he was trying to calm his team down. Nice try, but the internet wasn't buying it. Once an image like that goes viral, it's impossible to erase. It's like trying to delete the Will Smith slap. It's burned into pop culture forever. Then came the music, because of course YoungBoy did what YoungBoy does best. He turned the chaos into a song. Out of nowhere, a track dropped on SoundCloud titled "Who Watching Me?" and it hit like a sonic grenade. The lyrics were raw, paranoid and brutally honest. "They waiting on me to fall, I feel 'em lurking in the dark," he rapped. Fans immediately connected it to the concert incident. It was eerie, like a confession wrapped in a melody. Within hours, the song trended worldwide. Comment sections filled with lines like, "He finally talking his truth," and "This, the realest he ever been." But while fans praised the honesty, industry insiders whispered that the track was just adding fuel to the fire. Some said it made him look even more paranoid. Others claimed it was strategic, that he was flipping the narrative, turning fear into power. Either way, the effect was undeniable. Suddenly, what was once an embarrassing moment had become part of his legacy. The same footage people mocked days earlier was now being framed as proof that he was still standing, still surviving, when everyone else wanted him gone. Meanwhile, rival rappers who'd been throwing shade started backpedaling. The joke wasn't funny anymore. It was too real, too close to home. You could feel the energy shift, from mockery to caution. Because if YoungBoy, the one everyone called untouchable, could get caught slipping, then who else could be next? Suddenly, everyone was checking their entourages, beefs, and security setups. The incident didn't just shake one artist, it shook the entire culture. Then, just when things seemed to settle, YoungBoy made his return to social media. And he didn't say a word, just one post. A black screen with the caption, "Still here." No filters, no emojis, no explanations. That single phrase sent the internet into a frenzy. Within minutes, "I'm still here" was trending across every platform. It became a rallying cry for fans, a statement of defiance, a digital mic drop. And just like that, YoungBoy had flipped the narrative again. Think about the irony. One moment of fear had turned into one of the most powerful comebacks of the year. The same people who doubted him were now calling it legendary. Commentators called it the most YoungBoy thing ever. Getting clowned, going silent, then dropping something that breaks the internet. Even the memes changed tone. What started as mockery evolved into admiration. "He faced it and survived," one fan wrote. Respect that, but make no mistake, the scars were still there. Behind all the hype and headlines, the reality was darker. Security around him reportedly tripled. Concert promoters started adding enhanced protection clauses for his shows. Venues were requesting additional off-duty police officers. Everyone was preparing for something, though no one could say exactly what. And maybe that's the most chilling part. When an artist like YoungBoy, who's built his career on danger and defiance, starts acting cautious, it means something in the game has truly changed. Industry insiders quietly admitted that the fear was justified. "You don't survive that long in this business without making enemies," one source said. Another added, "People don't understand how much pressure comes with being that famous and that controversial. It's not a life, it's a ticking clock." And maybe that's the lesson hiding under all the chaos. The same raw authenticity that made YoungBoy a superstar is the same thing that makes him a target. By the end of it all, one thing was clear. The footage, the rumors, the panic, it didn't break him. It reminded everyone that even the biggest names in the game are still human. That behind the fame and flexing, there's fear.